ready for a conversation, Keefe?
I love a good conversation. That's why I got into this business, Jones. I like talking to people. I like conversing. I like having one-sided conversations.
Yeah.
Good back and forth.
I like this style of conversation, Keefe.
Yeah. We can talk at people.
Right.
Yeah.
Less so when someone sits you down and goes, we need to have a conversation about this.
Go ahead and shut the door. I'm sorry, what? I'm not going to do that.
I don't like that as much. And so we heard from Stef Diggs yesterday for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
He had not talked to the local media in quite some time, and it was worth the price of admission yesterday. There was a lot in there I did not see coming.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I didn't really go in with a big expectation. You're like, all right, a lot of players, coaches are talking this week. Some of the coordinators, I think all the coordinators are talking this week. Different players, and you're all right, it's game week. The NFL season is back tonight, and you're like, here we go. And I thought it was just going to be sort of a
benign.
Yeah, like, hey, Drake May's good. I like Josh McDaniels. Mike Vrabel's a good coach. Looking forward to week one. I'm healthy. That kind of thing.
Well,
it went a different direction.
It went a different direction. Turns out Stef Diggs, and I hope he's okay with this phrasing. I know he's not okay with all the phrasing out there.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out he's not just a bit of a diva wide receiver, which I think is fair to say. But it also turns out he's apparently very, very, very rabbit-eared. Wow. And here's pretty much everything said about him, which I didn't realize.
Do you think he has, like, the Google alert set up for his name?
He might have the alerts going on.
A couple of those weeks, it'd be very busy. There'd be a lot going on.
It would be.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he gets some good alerts after the game on Sunday. We'll be talking about it all day long here on Jones and Keefe. You can dial us up, 617-779-7937. That's your phone and text number. Interact on Twitter and Instagram at Jones and Keefe. You can watch along and chat. Twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Always a healthy chat going on Twitch. And you can watch on YouTube. Just subscribe to WEEI. We will have some Red Sox talk with Rob Bradford at 11:30. We'll update you on Roman Anthony. We were waiting for the news all day yesterday. Unfortunately, 4 to 6 weeks is about what we were bracing for. Borderline worst-case scenario for Roman Anthony. So we'll get to that coming up. We'll also go on the clock at high noon. I'll give you a Patriots season prediction. Season preview, rather, in just 60 seconds each. We also have all of our NFL predictions and awards today.
Oof, what a show.
Busy day. Oh, Dork Minute, 11:45.
Oh, my God. The hits just keep on coming.
Kiefer Madness, 12:45.
Yeah, creature feature.
Nice. Yep. So I don't even know if we have enough segments for all of it today, but we'll do our best to get to all of it. We'll start with Diggs and his conversation. There was more to this. I say we start and stop it, Keefe.
Yeah, please.
Anything jumps out, feel free to hit the brakes on it. But this is more yesterday in a very revealing conversation from Stefon Diggs.
But I do kind of want to address some things as far as like that happened throughout camp. Obviously, I look at the media as a whole, and I kind of want to approach this thing as professional as possible. So, Phil and Tom, if I don't want to mistakenly or say the wrong names. But my words, I had some conversations and I had some interviews throughout camp, and some of my words are misconstrued and, kind of, I don't know, me talking to another individual, I don't know, it was kind of regurgitated in another way. So, or taken out of context. And I think I was referred to as a pain, and I hate pain in the posterior, but I'm going to say exactly what it really was.
Okay,
obviously,
stop. Stop.
So go ahead.
He's talking directly to Phil and Tom.
Right.
Phil Perry.
This is versus Phil and Tom.
Oh, very clearly.
Yeah.
Tommy Curran, who, by the way, will be on WEEI afternoons this afternoon, 3:30.
Very good.
Good timing.
Yes.
So we'll hear Tom's response. Phil gave one on TV last night. I'll backsell that, and we'll get to it coming up. But Phil Perry on the Quick Slants podcast with Tommy Curran referred to Stefon Diggs as a pain in the posterior.
Yeah.
Diggs came out and said, well, I'm going to tell you what it really is, a pain in the ass.
Yeah, okay,
which is, in fairness, not what Phil said, but it's still the gist of what he meant.
Yeah, he's talking about the tukish. He's talking about the bum.
Yeah, he's talking about the entire rump region.
Pain in the backside.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. He's got a thesaurus, and he knows what he's doing.
Diggs punched it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Phil, I think, purposefully stepped it down by saying pain in the posterior, but whatever.
Okay.
We're all talking about the same thing. We're all adults. Pain in the ass.
But he was very sensitive to this.
Diggs did not like it and chose to address the entire media and the entire fan base about it while he's doing it. So, again, I want to get to Phil and what he said coming up. We'll hear more from Diggs, but your thoughts initially.
Well, first off, I just want to say I was a big fan of the Steph Diggs signing. I've liked Steph Diggs. I've personally thought that a lot of the talk around him has been a little bit overblown because
the pain in the posterior talk?
Yeah, like I just think, yeah, I don't know, because everyone's like, oh, like, he's like a diva wide receiver, which I don't even think is that bad of a thing. Like, I think that, like, most teams around the league, the really good receivers, you might need to cater to them a little bit more than you would another player. And I also think it's sometimes lumped together when you have a guy like Steph Diggs, who wants the football and things like that, and then guys like Tyreek Hill, which are like entirely a different thing, and they get lumped into the same basket. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, these crazy wide receivers. I'm like, what did Tyreek Hill do in college? And like, what are we talking about? That's not the same as Steph Diggs.
It might.
Yeah.
Steph, if you're listening, might be a pain in the posterior. Tyreek Hill is a bad guy. Like,
those
are very different things.
So I always want to like clarify that, because a lot of times they get thrown in the same thing. They play the same position. They've had similar type of seasons, and you're just like, well, wait a minute. It's very, very different. So anyway, I was happy with the signing, and he comes in here, and yeah, there was the thing on the boat, and you're like, all right, that was something, and Mike Vrabel specifically didn't seem to be thrilled with it. And he's talking about making right decisions or whatever. But then he was out there almost throughout entire camp. There was the one day at joint practice where he at least arrived on the practice field later than the rest of his teammates, and so we sort of talked about that at the time. He sounds right now, though, in this press conference almost kind of like nervous.
So
it's odd to me that he would even choose to do this.
So I don't think he chose. I think he was
forced
and or asked to do it by Mike Vrabel. And I think,
well, then I guess you could say he's listening to Vrabel then.
Did you watch the video? Well, that's a fair point.
Yeah,
yeah. Did it look like he was reading?
Well, it looked like he was prepared. Yeah, I don't know if it was reading.
I couldn't tell if he I didn't watch him walk up to the podium. The video I saw, he was already at the podium, so I couldn't tell if he brought notes, but it looked like he was looking down at jotted notes, maybe just to not get Phil and Tom's name wrong.
Yeah.
But it looked to me like he was reading off like a prepared, jotted type of thing. I don't know that to be true. That's what it looked like.
It feels to me wildly unnecessary. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't. If I was him, I would have been like, go Conor McGregor style and be like, I would like to apologize for absolutely nothing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say,
no,
Phil and Tom, who the F is this guy?
Oh, yeah, who the bleep is
that?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
You're Steph Diggs. You don't need to apologize to Phil and Tom. I don't know what. And also, if they said you're a pain in the posterior, like, why even address that? What does that matter? How is that even like an offensive thing?
Well, remember, Mike Vrabel in the Forged in Foxborough episode way back when, episode 1, came out and made a big point about, like, we're going to treat everybody with respect and this is that and this and that. I wonder if Vrabel twisted his arm, didn't force him to, but highly encouraged him to get out there and make it right with the media.
Do you think Steph Diggs has been disrespectful to the media?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not down there every single day. We were there at camp. I think he spoke once during camp.
I think the one he talked to Diana Rossini
that too.
In an individual interview.
But he wasn't disrespectful to her.
He talked at his introductory press conference and then once again. And so has he been disrespectful because the media requested him to be available and he refused? I don't really consider that disrespectful.
I don't think there's been any like weird back and forth with Diggs and any reporter. And if he's sensitive to the Phil thing, like, okay, go talk to him about it, which there's an update on that. Apparently those two did talk. But I don't know. I found it very odd because it's almost like when somebody's like apologizing, you're like, wait, so what are you apologizing for?
Yeah, I don't get what he apologized for either. So anyway, he's going to treat the media as a whole. He's specifically going to call out Phil and Tom. Here's more from the Steph Diggs quote-unquote apology, which I still don't really get what he's apologizing for. I'm with you, Keith.
Yeah.
It's really more calling out Phil and Tom, and I think he was forced to do it. Yeah. Here's more from Diggs.
Pain in the posterior, but I'm going to say exactly what it really was. Obviously, I don't want to come across as that. And I'm going to say this. I want to be very clear. I'm an adult. I apologize. I'm not up here to ego trip. I'm not up here to, rub anybody the wrong way or say anything for clickbait. If I rubbed anybody the wrong way, I really want to apologize. Moving forward, obviously, we have a media to player relationship as professional as I can be. I want to make myself available each and every week. Obviously don't want to make this thing abrasive. It can be as seamless as possible, and it also can be abrasive. And I don't want to get up here and not answer questions or make anybody.
Stop. He's like, I don't want to make it abrasive, but I can.
I can, and guess what? Kind of feels like it will at some point.
He also said he wants to be up there answering questions every week, which he hasn't done.
Which the Patriots PR team was like, no, don't say every week. You won't be out here every week.
Also, he hasn't done it. Whether you think he should have done it to this point or not.
Now.
Whether you think he should or not, he doesn't have to.
We requested him to be a Patriots Monday guest.
Yeah, we wanted him on the show.
Yeah, it didn't go great.
It did. Well, we wanted a lot of people, and none of it went
specifically. These were our first 4 choices.
Yeah. None of it went great.
Yeah, no.
We will talk to Mike and Wenu tomorrow.
Yeah, Big Mike.
That'll be at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. 1:15.
I'm sorry. 1:15.
Set your alarms.
Yeah, you're right. 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
But so I thought that was odd. He's like, well, I want to sit here and answer all your questions. I know he's been requested a bunch and hasn't talked. Maybe you don't care about that, but I'm just highlighting it.
Maybe he means now.
And he also says, I don't want it to be abrasive, but I can make it abrasive.
It can be.
But also that's not me. So there's more here.
I don't want to get up here and not answer questions or make anybody feel uncomfortable. I mean, obviously, it's a world we live in. Like, if somebody calls you an ass, you start acting like one. No, you don't.
Called you.
I won't. That's not me. So I want to apologize if I ever came across as anybody. But moving forward, I kind of want to get things off on the right foot. We're going to spend a lot of time together. And I kind of want to give obviously a good interview if I'm asked questions. I don't want to get up here giving you the vanilla answers or no answer at all. So moving forward, hopefully this relationship can grow. And we build on something special. Obviously it's going to be a long season, so we're going to spend a lot of time together.
I feel like I'm reading a book and 2 or 3 chapters are missing. I was like, I started this book. Hey, Stefon Diggs signs with the Patriots.
Yeah.
He's coming back from an ACL. He actually is ahead of schedule, and he's out there on the field. He had a couple of press conferences. The season's going up. Skip 2. Sorry. Hopefully we can be on the same page.
Yeah,
when did things go sideways?
This would happen to me a lot in high school, Keith. Like I'm reading Great Gatsby or whatever, and all of a sudden I've zoned out for like 10 pages, and I'm like, what?
What happened to
Daisy?
Character? What happened to Daisy?
Who is this character?
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm like, no, it's actually like our job to pay attention to all this and like keep track of what everybody says. And you're like, all right, so one reporter says you're a pain in the posterior, and I think it was in reference to.
He, by the way, has turned that into. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
he turned pain in the posterior.
Hole. Yeah, you're like, nobody said that.
To pain in the ass, which again is roughly the same, but that's not what Phil said.
Yep.
To also a-hole, which is again definitely not what Phil said.
Man, yeah, no, it's not even that. So it's really strange. I was just really perplexed by the whole thing.
This is a good theory. It sounds like, and this is from the text line, 617-779-7937. It sounds like he's not apologizing to Phil and Tom. He's apologizing to Vrabel.
Okay, and maybe that makes more sense. But even, I think it's, if your theory is true, that Vrabel's like, hey, you need to go clear all this up, what does Vrabel even think needs to be cleared up? Well, I don't think he's handled himself poorly. I don't. And unless you want to say,
well, but hang on. Vrabel was annoyed about the party boat stuff, right?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Steph's relationship to the media.
No, but he might just be annoyed with Diggs in general.
Okay.
And so I just wonder if it's all in the same bucket. I understand we're separating the two.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, you can be annoyed at Diggs, but then be like, hey, go apologize to the media. Like, he's like, for what I do. Okay, I'll do that if that's what you want me to do, but I don't really understand it. I kind of wish he didn't.
So, a couple of things. Yeah, no, I
kind of wish he didn't.
I don't really
This is like
get it.
My guy, Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
When he was in college, he did all this cool stuff. He would like wave the banner. He had like the Oklahoma flag. He stuck it at the 50-yard line. He would like give people the bird. Like he was a wild man. Then he would apologize the next day. Every day he'd be like, guys, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, yeah, you should have done that. That was the coolest thing.
That was awesome.
And now you're walking it back. And so now this guy just feels like he needs to apologize for really no reason at all.
Okay.
I don't understand.
So that was how Diggs started his press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
It was followed up, and the question or the exchange was very, very difficult to hear, but it was followed up by Tom and Phil both apologizing to him. Okay? So, like, Tom was like, hey, I'm really sorry, too.
What?
Then Phil was like, yeah, me too. So, like, the first like 4 minutes of this press conference was everybody apologizing to each other.
I don't understand any of it.
Phil went on TV last night. I wasn't there. You weren't there. Brag for Phil, I guess.
Yeah, good for Phil.
Good for Phil. Phil was on TV last night, and he said that when he called Steph Diggs a pain in the posterior on Quick Slants, whenever that originally was, a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, whatever it was, he heard almost immediately from people in the building that Diggs wasn't thrilled about it. So Phil made a point to find Steph Diggs and apologize to him at the facility, meaning like, on the side of a practice or media access or whatever.
Yeah.
It took a couple of days.
Yeah.
Diggs, I don't know if he didn't initially want to do it or their schedules just didn't line up. It didn't happen immediately. But Phil said last night on NBC Sports Boston, he apologized in person to Diggs on Friday.
Did he
man-to-man apologized.
Man-to-man. Did he say what Diggs' response was?
No, he did not. And so Phil apologized privately, in person, directly to Diggs.
Yeah.
And then Diggs, in front of cameras, the media, all Patriots fans, decided to do this last night.
Yeah, it's another strange...
Or yesterday, rather.
Another strange part of this whole story.
That's weird.
It is very weird. So maybe he didn't accept the apology right away, that he was thinking about it. He's like, well, let me air this out. Let's, because at first he's like, I want to address all the media, but really just Phil and Tom.
Good point by Rather Be Golfing in the Twitch chat. They should just have a pizza party and make up.
That'd be great. We could host it here.
Great idea.
Steph Diggs, Phil, Tom. We could have some slices as well.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to have a slice or two, yeah.
That'd be great.
Call up Hogdale.
I'd be,
Two slices and a 2-liter.
That's his game meal.
I like that.
Yeah, but what a weird little surprise.
Some pizza.
We'll have to ask Hunter Henry on Monday how surprised he was that Steph Diggs apologized.
Ooh, that's good. 1 to 85.
Yeah, he's got to put it on the scale.
Should we just start with, hey, Hunter, do you have anything to apologize to us about?
Oh.
Or should we apologize to you for anything?
I'm not going to apologize to him for anything.
Oh, I
don't think I've apologized to anybody for anything.
Just if in his mind he thinks we should apologize. Maybe we can ask Mike Vrabel if Hunter Henry thinks that we should apologize for anything. Maybe there's
probably thinks we should. Just for existing, we should probably apologize.
So that was a conversation yesterday with Steph Diggs, which was very, very odd, interesting. I'm intrigued by the whole thing. Text line is taking a point here, and I heard Greg getting some similar texts to call out the media. This is why players don't like Boston. You guys and the beat guys think you're the stars, and you're not.
Who said that? I literally don't think he should have apologized to them. And in fact, Steph Diggs talking about reporters by name is like propping them up more than the other way around.
After Phil apologized to him in a quiet corner in person, apparently that wasn't good enough for Steph Diggs. He had to blow it up and make a whole thing about it.
I don't know.
But it's true. They're the stars and we're not. I mean, I do agree with that. That's a fair point.
I went into this whole thing thinking like we might be in line for like 1,000-yard season from Steph Diggs. I've really lowered my expectations now. And even like something like yesterday kind of makes me a little concerned, like overall. Because don't you feel like this is how it starts? Like, so he's so obsessed with like what people are saying about him, and now so rather than, I don't know, just go out there and prove that you can do it. Like this feels like it could go sideways.
Yeah,
it feels like week 8. There's like a whole thing. And
party boat, weird exchange with Rossini, which Vrabel was like super oddly pissed about.
Haven't even played a game yet, and we're doing this.
And he's been invisible on the practice field. I hope this doesn't get back to him and he has to complain about it, that he hasn't done anything on the practice field.
Because all it takes is one not so great game, and it might not even be his fault, right? Like, so let's say on Sunday, for example, the offensive line struggles with Max Crosby. Not an unrealistic thing.
No.
And maybe Drake May misses a couple throws to Steph Diggs or looks away from him. You think Diggs is going to be in a good mood?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not. But I'm looking forward to that conversation. So what do you think? How did Steph Diggs handle this? Are we just all a-holes in the media?
Possible.
You can discuss 617-779-7937. And furthermore, at this stage in his career, we're not talking vintage Steph Diggs, I don't think, coming off an ACL where he was invisible on the practice field. According to beat reporters down there over the final few practices and joint practices, is Steph Diggs worth the headache? Headaches, plural.